online education, which was, which started in 2019 or so, had in 2021 a number of 14 lakh students being enrolled over there. Now the numbers are 21 lakhs plus. That the syllabus for the regular mode and the online mode is same, and the pattern of examination is same, and hence the value of the degree is also same.
It has been said by UGC also that there is the equivalency of online
that's why
and regular education.
Yeah, that's the reason. I do accept that with open and distance learning, many of the companies say no, but with online learning after the pandemic, now it is a thing of the past. People are accepting those degrees.
That is the online degree valid for government or private jobs?
Yes, it's certainly valid for government jobs, because the UGC has made it very clear that this is an equivalent degree, so nobody can stop. Even the government will not say no for that. 750 plus faculty members are there, all experienced. Out of those 11 and 13 universities, I am in those 14 universities who is going for the 4th cycle of NAC accreditation. I've got a diamond ranking there.
So hello and welcome back everyone to another episode of Experts Ki Rai, and today we are here at Datta Meghe Institute of Higher Education and Research deemed to be university, and I am very excited because we are going to meet the director of Datta Meghe Institute of Higher Education and Research deemed to be university Center for Distance and Online Education, Dr. Raju Ganesh Sundar. He has a total of 34 years of experience both in industry and academics. He is even awarded for the long service in University of Petroleum and Energy Studies. So today, let's try to learn from all of his experience and let's make a good future ahead. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
So, sir, you are working from last 34 long years, and you've been to industry and then academics. Please share us your experience and also why you shifted from industry to academics.
Well, Pooja, this is something which I would like to share and tell people also that I started off as an entrepreneur. I put up a small scale industry manufacturing steel wires at Nagpur after having completed my graduation in engineering and doing a master's in business administration. But the challenges of putting up an industry in those times, the word itself, industry as such, is, which I define is, putting a tree in dust and wanting it to grow. And some or the other, because of GST not being available at that point of time, different states had different taxation rates, and being a first generation entrepreneur, I faced a lot of challenges. And because of those challenges, even after running the manufacturing concern for about 13 years, I had to shut it down. And then I entered into the IT industry after working for 2.5 years. I thought, no, this is not my cup of tea. And finally, graduated into academics. And when I came into academics and when I started teaching and the other activities for academics, I thought I could utilize whatever knowledge I had gained through my entrepreneurial journey, and I could pass it on to the students. And through my career in academics, I also, when I joined University of Petroleum and Energy Studies in Dehradun, I was, put into a place which was there for open and distance learning, which was very new even to me at that point of time. But then for the last 9 years or so, I am there in the open distance learning and online learning, and I have, learned something about it, which has given me a good idea of what is online learning and how the student experience and engagement which needs to be there, because online learning and the face-to-face learning differ a lot.
Yes.
in the face-to-face learning, at least you are there in front of the students, you know whether the student is getting you or not. In online learning and open and distance learning, you don't even come to know whether the student has understood what you are trying to say or not. So you have to bring out those practices, etc., which bring in, the engagement and experience. And that is how, overall, if you speak, my engineering experience, my experience in the manufacturing has, given me analytical mind which I can utilize and put it, and I have utilized it to the best to deliver for the better happenings for the students in the coming generation.
Great. So, so you have equal amount of experience in academics and in industry, 17 and 17 years.
Yeah.
So you must have seen a lot of changes in all these years. Like in rural areas, there is lack of quality of education, and maybe there are many places where education is not even there.
So coming to your point of rural areas and where challenges of the brick and mortar university to be there, online education is one of the best ways to be, with the prime minister's call on developing the infrastructure for internet, etc., and high speed internet going into the rural area. Now it is becoming it has become very good, and with the online education being there, we can now give the best of the things to the students at to the last end point. And that is what even the new education policy is also speaking on that, getting foreign faculties and through the online mode delivering it to the students. So that is how things are changing.
The
Technology.
best part is the policies are also changing.
Yes.
And it is more student centric now.
Absolutely correct. In our days, etc., it was, the sage on the stage. The lecturer comes in, he comes to the stage, and he delivers. And that is what, and in those days, you didn't have any other ways and means also. You had only the textbooks available. And many of the textbooks were not available also in the market. You had to go to the library. So whatever the faculty was teaching, you had to grasp to that and go to the library, read and understand. But now with the expansion of internet happening, everything is available on a click of a button. The student can know more. And that's why now a faculty has become more of a facilitator.
Yes.
It's only to guide them how to reach to that point. That is what is there.
Definitely.
Technology has changed. We used to have those dialing telephones, etc. Now you have the mobile phones, and what is not available on the mobile phone.
And now even if especially girls can take admissions from rural areas or from tier 2, tier 3 cities, can take admission in tier 2, tier 1 universities.
कहीं पे भी जा सकती है.
Online education.
अभी तो इस तरह का ये हो गया है कि कहीं पे भी जा सकती हैं लड़कियां. And women empowerment, it's coming in a very big way. They can move anywhere, and technology is there to help them out also.
Time has
changed a lot.
So let's talk about Datta Meghe Institute of Higher Education and Research, deemed to be university. What is the overall experience, and how strong is the faculty?
See, Datta Meghe Institute of Higher Education and Research as such carries a legacy of last 4 decades. When the engineering colleges were privatized in Maharashtra, that was the first time Datta Meghe, Shri Datta Meghe sir, who was a member of parliament at that point of time, thought of bringing in engineering education. He started it, and 35 years back, he started a medical college in Wardha. And that became, and that came to be known, Datta Meghe Institute of Medical Sciences. The earlier name was Datta Meghe Institute of Medical Sciences University, and it became very famous in India. The last NIRF ranking also, we are 54th ranked university in India. We are the 11th best ranked dental school in India. We are the 24th best ranked medical school in India. So you see, at the overall level, at the national level, the rankings which carry. And why? Because Datta Meghe Institute of Higher Education and Research has got a very huge pool of faculty which is available. 750 plus faculty members are there, all experienced, great, knowledgeable. If you see the research output of the university, we are ranking second in India.
Amazing.
So that is, even in the COVID times, etc., a lot of ICMR projects came to our university for the COVID evaluation, etc. A lot of research fund has come in, and we are well known in the medical fraternity and in the university as such. For the last 4 years or so, we ventured out into starting the allied sciences, the engineering, etc. And that is how the online education, distance education has come into place.
So, Datta Meghe University has also played a part in the pandemic time. It never stopped.
Huge part, I'll say. In the local area, etc., they help the local people, even the present hospital as such. Acharya Vinoba Bhave Hospital, which is there attached with our medical college, caters to the local people over here, and healthcare services provided to the needy persons at very low or free of cost even facility. We have a super specialty hospital available, a cancer hospital available.
Well, that's commendable, and they should be proud of it.
Yeah, certainly. And we carry that legacy. And that's why when I speak of even the online education and the open and distance education, the same thing, comes in, and the quality of education would be there for the online and ODL also. In the same way.
So, what is the idea of starting online learning platform? And you also have ODL.
Yeah, the idea of starting, as you see, the government of India also in the new education policy has spoken about a gross enrollment rate to be increased. We were in 2020 around 23%. We are presently around 26-27%. And by 2035, we need to reach to 35% in higher education. And that is where, open distance learning and online learning will play a very big part. India has got 1100 plus universities available, but this will not cater to the population. And it was recently there in papers about 2-3 days back that we have crossed China in the population.
Yeah.
So you can very well understand the number of students who will come up, and the newer generations, Generation Z students, who are aspirational students who want to have a very good life, etc. So they need to be educated. We have to understand that, and online education is one of the ways which can help us in doing that.
Yes, because it is the future.
Yes. And to give you some numbers as such, before the pandemic, we, about 34,000 students were enrolled in ODL. The present numbers are reaching 1 lakh. Online education, which was, which started in 2019 or so, had in 2021 a number of 14 lakh students being enrolled over there. Now the numbers are 21 lakhs plus. So you have to understand.
Huge number.
Yeah. So you have to understand the way it is growing now. And, putting money in developing a university, in a brick and mortar university, takes time. But for an online education, it will be easier and faster. With the even with the new policy which has come up now, UGC opening up the online education to category 1 or autonomous colleges also. So with that, about 2,000, 3,000 colleges would also come into the fray, which will be imparting online education. So this is the way forward which I look.
Yeah. So if we talk about online education, there is this one very big challenge, that is how they give the education, like in online. If we talk about learning management system, so what is the learning management system of this university, and how would you rate it?
We have got a very robust learning management system which is available with us. And we follow the Distance Education Bureau UGC guidelines of the 4-quadrant approach of giving the students the learning. The first quadrant having the asynchronous videos, the second quadrant having the self-learning material and the PPTs, etc. The third quadrant is there for the discussion forum, and the fourth quadrant for the assignment. And we follow all those things on our learning management systems. The student is uh, in a position to access the learning management system very easily from any place, anytime. And that's why the learning happens very nicely for the students. And again, I'd like to tell that the syllabus for the regular mode and the online mode is same, and the pattern of examination is same, and hence the value of the degree is also same.
Same. It has been said by UGC also that there is the equivalency of
Yeah,
online
that's why.
distance
That's why.
and regular education.
Yeah, that's the reason. Because the syllabus, the curriculum syllabus, and this now it is. As a university, we have to impart that learning to the student in such a way that the student get the best experience and best learning.
Yeah.
And that is what we are working on presently.
So there is a recent research also that 80% of students have taken looking for online education and 220% have enrolled in the same. So we clearly see that there is the acceptance of online learning program. But what about the acceptance in the recruitment area?
Yes, and that's the reason why UGC has come out with a circular. This is the second time the UGC has made it very clear that this degree is equivalent to the degree which is offered in a regular mode. Yes, I do see many of the industry, partners have not, accepted that. It's just a matter of time when the mental shift would happen, because I now see with the postgraduate degree in online education, people are going for doctoral studies and postdoctoral studies, and they are doing fantastically well. And they are working after having complete done their post graduation in online, then going for a part time doctoral studies, and then going into the industry. People are accepting them, so that is happening. So now the mental shift is happening, and it will not take, maybe some institutions are there, and there are exceptions to the rule always. So some industries would have those challenges, but it's just a matter of time that it will be accepted.
Still, students have this. Whenever I suggested or we suggested online learning programs, they have this very common question that top MNCs does not accept online degrees. So
No.
is it a myth or what?
I remember I have worked with UPS, and we have partnered with SpiceJet. We have partnered with Indian Air Force. We partnered with Indian Army also, and there, online degrees were accepted. So things are. That's what I'm trying to say. That now it is changing, and people are like, yeah. I do accept that with open and distance learning, many of the companies say no, but with online learning after the pandemic, now it is a thing of the past. People are accepting those degrees.
And can you? We also talk about online learning that they students compare about online learning and regular education. So can you please tell us 5 pros and cons of online and regular?
See, if you see the Western education system completely, many of the students from India, travel abroad and study, and they say they have done well. Why? It is experiential learning which is taking them, which is happening in the Western countries. Experiential learning means basically a faculty would take a class and then ask the student to go through an assignment, and the student themselves undergo everything and learn. Online learning is also speaking about self learning. 50% of the learning is to happen through self learning mode. And that is why I say that this is a better mode of learning than face to face learning, also. Face to face learning, most of the things, the faculty would tell the students The faculty interacts with the students, they help. Yeah, some challenges are there, but now with the sort of technology available and the way things can be done, people can collaborate, you can have peer learning, you can have faculty to student learning, you can have discussion forums which can lead to critical thinking. So all these things actually makes the online learning also a very good way of learning in comparison with the face-to-face learning or the in-person learning.
So we talked about faculties, we talked about learning management system. Let's suppose the student already took the admission in your university. There is this post-admission services, which is lacking somewhere, I think. They say that they don't get the LMS on time.
I do agree on it. These are some nitty-gritties which we are also at Datta Meghe Institute of Higher Education and Research deemed to be university working on those, because actually in a university in a regular mode, generally the student comes to the university, submits all those documents, a complete process happens and the enrollment happens and the student knows about it. The student comes, pays up the fees, etc., gets a receipt.
Yes.
Now in online education, we have developed a customer relationship management software in such a fashion that as soon as the student pays up the fees, he'll get a receipt, acknowledgement of the payment of fees and whatever documents, because now there is a process in the university where the university has to do an enrollment number. The student has to get a unique identity when he's there in the university. So keeping that in mind, there's a process which happens. And now, since all the students who come into the online mode submit their documents through online mode, there is a verification process which has to happen. We have to verify those documents which are submitted, because in the face-to-face mode, the documents are readily available to the person to verify. He can check and find out whether it's okay or not. We have seen some cases where students have forged the documents and sent, and then later on we had to cancel those admissions. Keeping all those things in mind, I do agree it takes time. So initially, when the verification things happen, it takes time, and once that is done, immediately the access to the learning management system where the student can have access to the reading material and the study
And
material can
admission
be done.
confirmation. And with this huge number of admissions and online learning, it also takes time to
Yeah.
go through the
I
documentation of all
that's
this.
that's where the time will lag, but as I said, we are working with our CRM solution also. So immediately once the student pays up the tuition fees, etc., a provisional letter of admission would be issued to the student, so that the student is satisfied and confirmed that his fees has been received by the university, because a fee receipt is there and a provisional admission letter is there. So that guarantee can be taken.
So students, you do not need to get panicked.
Yeah,
This whole process takes a little time, but your admission will be confirmed if the
absolutely
documents and
correct.
everything is
Are
um,
good enough
good enough. Yeah.
for the admission.
Well, I think the biggest pillar of online education is study from anywhere and at any time. But what is the exact amount of time a student must give to get a right kind of job or anything?
See, online education as such, classes generally happen on the weekend. Uh, the learning material which is there on the LMS is available to the student, where the student has to do self-learning. Weekend, for each of the subjects in the program, the classes would be held generally. The reading material is available to the. If a student puts in about 1 hour daily without fail, if the student puts in 1 hour, I feel doing an MBA, MCA, BBA, BCA, or an MSc program, etc., the student can sail through the program and pass out with flying colors and have the knowledge also and the skill sets that are needed to get a good to develop a good career.
And there is this one thing you also aware about there are a lot of myths around online education because it's new. So there is one more question students ask me, that is the online degree valid for government or private jobs?
Yes, it is certainly valid for government jobs, because the UGC has made it very clear that this is an equivalent degree, so nobody can stop. Even the government will not say no for that.
Another thing is that students, even in online education, student wants to visit university and attend convocation. So is it possible?
Yeah, we are having a convocation on 13th of May, and we are giving a degree for open and distance learning. This. We are giving a gold medal also to the student who has passed out the open and distance model.
And to select the best online university, what do you think are the parameters?
The parameters are the, basically the type of faculty the university has. Then what are the, resources, technical resources to deliver the program, basically. And if you follow the four quadrant approach, what the University Grants Commission Distance Education Bureau speaks of, if any university follows it in toto, you can very well understand that the learning etc would be good.
And what is the importance of approvals? Like we know that UGC holds everything, so there is the importance of UGC. What about other rankings and accreditations like NAC accreditation?
So I'll like to tell you at this point of time, we are one of those 14 universities in India. Only 14 universities out of the 1113 universities. Out of those 1113 universities, I am in those 14 universities who is going for the fourth cycle of NAC accreditation. So for the last 20 years plus, I am NAC accredited. I am ranked very high in the National Institute of Ranking Framework. I am ranked in the Times ranking. I am ranked by QS, Quacquarelli Simons ranking also. I've got a diamond ranking there also. So all this put together, you can very well understand the quality of education. And even going further, like you have the quality framework for the regular mode. For the online mode also, UGC has got the Center for Internal Quality Assurance, which report we have to file every year to the University Grants Commission. So even now, for the last year, I have to just prepare in the next week or so and submit it. So what we did, what is the improvements we are doing for the learning of the students. So that is where things have to come up. And I, as a faculty also, I as a facilitator, I have undergone a program, from the UCLA, that is University College of Los Angeles. I have undergone a program for teaching students in the online mode. So I understand ways and means, because in the Western countries, online teaching started somewhere in the 1990s or so. We have started it late, but they have done a lot of work, and they have, given even the ways and means. Even while you are taking a lecture on the online mode, what should be done, I'd just like to say that since the student is in the online mode, and the generation Z student, basically a person who is born after 1990s or so, has got a very short span of concentration. To bring those students, into concentration, after every 3 4 slides on the presentation also, something where the faculty or the facilitator, you know has a conversation with the student, to bring the student back if the student has, moved away from the class or so, because it's an online mode. So that is the way, engagement has to be brought about. Maybe 3 and 4 slides, the faculty discusses a concept, and on that concept, he may put up a question, he may put up a quiz to the students and ask all the students to answer. He may take a poll on that. So that is how the engagement can be brought about in the online learning. And once that engagement comes in, the student gets focused, and that's why, a good learning experience happens for the student.
So, like now it's the time that a student have to go through dual degree programs or skill development programs. So apart from this degree programs, what else a student must go through, or what else the university is providing them?
So, as a part of the curriculum, etc., also we have a Excel program, foundational Excel and advanced Excel, which is imparted to the students. We also have, guest faculty members coming from the industry and speaking to the students. Then we take master classes for the students, even building their resume, etc., and how to have their resume put on the LinkedIn, etc. This is something which I have always thought of, and I have also seen when students put up details about the learning, etc., on the LinkedIn profile, there's a better chance for them to get hired also. So this we had seen also in my last university, etc. We had seen this happening. So I generally, even when I take the induction session for the students the first time, I tell them also that please prepare your LinkedIn profile and specifically put in the university name from where you are doing your online education, because that speaks a lot to the industry also, that these people come from this university, and that's why their caliber and category would be good and they can be hired.
Do you also offer these online courses apart from the degree programs? Like many universities are offering.
We have tied up with Coursera, and those short-term courses are available to the students. All the students who join our online program, they would have access to the Coursera certification, and each one of them can take a certification. And Coursera and edX, etc., are platforms which bring the learning from the Western world also to you on this. So that is available to the students, and the students can enjoy the learning through the platform also.
And is there online orientation?
Yes. Once the session is about to the admission enrollment season is going to come to an end, like the present season session, which has started from April, will be coming to an end on 31st of August as per the UGC guidelines. Say around 15th or 16th of August, we would be having an induction session. Like I was just talking to my coordinator, I said 12th of August is the date when we are going to have the induction session for the students, where we'll let the students know how the teaching and learning would happen for them, what is the evaluation pattern, how the question paper, etc., would be coming, what are those courses these two. And we'll also be having a technical session for the learning management students, so that the students don't face a problem. Even many of the students have not seen a learning management system also. So how to access a learning management system, how to go about it. And then we have got a support system also available, 24/7 support system. I do agree, we are all human beings, we have to also sleep. So maybe if a support inquiry comes in the night, maybe the person has slept off, but the person would certainly see to it in the morning, and within 48 hours, any support that is required for the student would be made available.
There's actually the importance of orientation, so that
Yes.
students get to know everything
Yes, what is happening, how the
beforehand. Yeah.
learning. Certainly, the orientation would happen. We would also, if need be, we would be taking orientation sessions before also. So maybe generally we do take 2 orientation sessions, so that anybody who has missed out, and all these are recorded and again made available on the learning management system to the student.
So, sir, we already know that online education is affordable, but to make it more affordable, do you have a EMI facility?
We are working on the EMI facility, etc. We are trying to tie up with 2 or 3, partners, etc., where this facility would be made available to the student. I do understand that online education, uh, generally, a student comes into online education. The reasons for that are paucity of time and maybe financial implications also. And keeping that in mind, we are going to tie up with 2 or 3 so that the EMI facility will be made available to the student.
Okay. And what is the mission and vision of the university?
To provide quality education to the students so that they prosper and do well in life. And that is something our Chancellor Shri Datta ji Meghe wants. Even our principal advisor, Mr. Sagar Meghe, always, whenever we have a discussion, etc., he speaks about, quality is one of the things which we should give to the students. Whatever learning we give, it should be quality learning so that they perform well in life, succeed in life.
And this is why we see that Datta Meghe deemed to be university is among the top university.
Yeah, certainly.
And what is success mantra behind it?
Success mantra, there are a lot of things which I can speak about. Uh, you know, our Pro Chancellor, sir, Dr. Ved Prakash Mishra, a leading luminary in medical education who has been the founder Vice Chancellor of the university, and he has guided us in such a fashion that wherever you go, we have got those checks and balances available for every teaching and learning happening. There's a balance whether feedback is taken from the student, peer feedback is taken, overall feedback are taken about the faculty members, whatever the learning is happening, even the presentations, etc., which are given in the face-to-face classroom also, it undergoes a complete check process. Like the next session, academic session, is to start, but from 2nd of May to 15th of May, all the presentations that are there with the university, schools, etc., they would have to undergo a check at the university office, where we call in an external member also, outside member, who goes through the content, whatever has been written on the presentation also, whether it is good for the students, or he or she will suggest some changes, and those changes have to be incorporated. So, quality education is something which is the success mantra for the Meghe Institute of Higher Education and Research, deemed to be university.
So with this, we come to an end, and I have this very last question with you: that what is your message for the student? Like, why student choose Datta Meghe University?
Why students should come to the Meghe Institute of Higher Education and Research? The faculty strength, the strong LMS, very good teaching and learning practices, then the curriculum and syllabus. Now, the curriculum and syllabus is in line with the industry requirement. The specializations, and one of those specializations is hospital and healthcare management, which not many of the universities in India give. Even for the regular specializations, etc., we have devised the courses which are there in the program in such a way that it will meet the industry requirements. The new thing happening, artificial intelligence, machine learning, etc., coming in, and a lot of talk happening that these technologies would eat up the jobs available. I am completely of a different opinion. All these have to be driven by a person, and if the person understands the technology completely, he will be the person who will drive it. So it is with this message, with open arms, I welcome you all to come to the Meghe Institute of Higher Education and Research, and get into the best student engagement and experience.
Well, I feel lucky, and I really think our students are also lucky talking to you, such an experienced person, and I get a lot of insights from you. There is a very good learning with you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank
I
you.
just hope that we'll meet again.
Certainly, certainly we'll do.